Yeah, no, it doesn't want to move. Look at that.
Now see, yeah.
I'm glad that one works great. Look at that. Yeah.
I can use that.
Wow.
I wouldn't know.
Maybe you should start using the minus.
Yeah.
I wonder if it can go all the way down and then goes back up.
I don't know.
Let's try that.
Oh, you know how far to go down.
Now it stops at 170. All right. So let's pull it out. All right. All right. So we got a GE unit. Now the issue with this stove, customer has been having issue with the plus. It just would not go, and sometimes it would, and then sometimes it wouldn't. So she's just tired of it. So I wasn't going to try and fix this. I offered it to her that we could try and, maybe put some WD-40 in the switch and see if it works. And we talked about that on the phone, and she said, no, I'd just rather you just replace the board. I gave her that option, and that's what she chose. So we're just removing the wires. Now pay attention, of course, make sure you unplug, and pay attention where those wires go. When you wiggle, try to wiggle not sideways where you can actually cause any damage to the relay, but we're changing it anyways. Now, when you order your board, it's going to come in a casing like that, and you might have to order a new face, which is the white piece that goes on the front, or it will come complete based on your model number. I had a new board which was in a stainless steel, so I didn't show the video on taking that out, but I'm showing it here. So it's the same board, everything down to the buttons, so everything's the same, just a black face. So I had it ready, and what we're doing now, we're removing the board from the casing. This board, the button is acting up, as you can see, and it takes a little bit of time to get them out. They are very in there, so take your time. My tool is a tiny flat blade screwdriver. It gets in there, and you're able to just slightly twist, and as you twist, you pull, it comes out, as you'll see, and once it's in, then you're good to go. So it takes a little bit of time to get it, and I fast forward somewhat, but not too much. I wanted you to get the idea of how hard it is. So it can be done if you're in a situation to where you're able to get the board cheaper. That's just an option. You can remove it from the housing, put it back in, and it's cheaper. Or if the white was available and the stainless wasn't, you have the option. It's the same board. Everything is the same. All you need to do is just remove it from the housing. Just be mindful. Don't damage the board in the process. All right, so I'm going to basically jump back in as needed. But as we jump forward, you will see how to install the board. And towards the end, you'll see 2 tabs. So make sure that you get the tab under once you put it into the stove. Otherwise, you're going to have a gap. When you look at the stove, at the display, you will have a gap. So just be mindful of that. Now, if you're having the same issue as this unit, you might be able to get just a tad bit of WD-40 and drip it, make a mark on that switch. It's just a little switch. In fact, you can replace those switches. All you would do is desolder it and solder it back in. So you don't have to replace the stove board if you don't have to. In fact, let's say there was a button, for example, maybe the clock button, whichever button that is not being used or doesn't get used much, you can desolder that button and replace one of those buttons with one that does not get used much. All right. I'll jump back in as needed. Right. Neat. Wow. Smart guy. Oh. So did he die here or he died in the hospital? Okay. All right, so now you have the cover. Everything's nice and open. If you do need to do it clean, go ahead and do that. Wipe everything down nicely. You might not need to, but if you do, go ahead and do that. Make sure to hold it up towards the light and look from behind. Make sure you don't have any streaks if you do clean it, because nothing is worse than putting it together knowing you have streaks behind it, and you do not want to take that thing back apart. All right, so next step is going to be getting this thing in. You want to start at the base, get it clicked in place, and there are 2 tabs up top that are a little bit tricky to get in, but it gets in. Check the buttons, make sure everything is working before you finalize. So get them all seated at the bottom. They will click in. You'll know when they're in. Go around each corner. Again, make sure all the buttons, you can feel them as you press.
Oh, really? Wow. Right. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're just speaking the truth. At the end of the day, they say stupid games. Play stupid games, stupid prizes. You get stupid prize. I mean, listen, you're on a motorcycle. You should be extra careful.
All right, we're almost done. Just pay attention to the colors. If you look at the relays, you will see they have colors corresponding to the wire or wires. So just be mindful of that. You can't really mess it up. So put all the ones that are colored first, and the black one, you will notice it's black. So it does have a little dot. You can't see it, but if you put all the ones that correspond, then pretty much the only one that's going to be left is going to be the black one, just to give you a little pointer. So leave that one for last. Don't forget the green wire, that's your ground. Make sure you reattach that. And as you put the board back in, right now it's in, but I'm going to actually show you. I didn't show it, so I will show it. And you do have 2 tabs up top that you're going to slide the top of the board in. Then you're going to secure it with 2 screws. He still had a huge house out
there on 561. He sold it.
He built another house. Him and the wife.
The way I tell down about him was,
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say it was 1948 or something. It's not when I read it, but there was something, name of the book.
Look at that, 400. Oh, yeah. Where you want it? All right, if you look closely, you'll see those 2 tabs. You want to slide the board,
I know, right?
the top of the board, under. There it is. There it is.
Absolutely.
And there it
Want me to
is.
set your time
And
for
that's
you?
going to give you a nice
Alright.
finish
Set
so
clock.
that
What
everything
time is
looks
it right
good.
now? Alright. Hopefully I can figure this one out. Okay. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure did. Maybe 9:10 now.
Yeah. Make sure you press start to confirm.